The New York Public Library's Hamilton Grange Teen Center, completed in 2011, won 2 awards of merit in 2012 and library awards in 2013 and 2014. A gorgeous, modern, brightly lit, high-ceilinged, dedicated teen area, the Teen Center attempts to redefine teen space. But is this space really conceptualized and designed to better serve Hamilton Grange's teen patrons? Does it take into account what teens want from teen space? Or is it just an expensive, flashy, adult-controlled library wing? Join me on a virtual tour of the Hamilton Grange Teen Center as we explore this space through a teen's eyes. I'd like to quickly mention, before deconstructing this space, that the New York Public Library is moving toward creating more and better teen spaces. In 2010, there were 4 teen centers among the 91 libraries in the New York Public Library system. Today, almost every construction project they are undertaking at their branches involves the creation of teen spaces. And they did solicit teen input on this project. The NYPL Teen Advisory Group was involved in the planning of this teen center. This is important as many teen spaces are planned without research into what teens themselves actually want from teen library spaces. First, let's discuss the location of the teen center within the library. The previous area meant to serve teens in the Hamilton Grange Library was on the first floor. Teens shared computers and lounge areas with adult patrons. Around 3 o'clock, when school let out, it was very difficult for teens to access the shared computers. The only dedicated teen space consisted of a tiny room containing 3 shelves of young adult reading materials. The library repurposed the then unused 3rd floor to create this award-winning teen space. The new teen space is a wonder of high ceilings and large windows. So what are the pros and cons of the new 3rd floor location? On the one hand, it provides teens with a dedicated space. Space is power. By giving teens their own space in a public institution such as the library, we are showing teens that we value them. On the other hand, the dedicated floor effectively hides teen patrons from adult patrons. In a culture in which 90% of the news about teens showcases the less than 1% of teens involved in antisocial behavior, putting teens on their own floor deprives adults of a chance to observe and interact with teens in a less adult-controlled environment. Now let's explore the layout of this teen space. Although the Teen Center is all about openness and brightness with its open plan, single-room layout, it is divided into separate programmatic zones through use of color, decoration, and furnishing style. It features bamboo bleacher seats, flexible seating in the form of rollable L-bracket benches, and round green things that teens can move and purpose however they choose. There are centrally located tiered stacks to break up the openness of the room, an X-shaped computer center, a reading area, nooks for group study and snacking, and a glass-enclosed, open-ceilinged vitrine in which teens play video games and make noise without disturbing other patrons. Let's deconstruct these features. The manned service desk is there to help and highly visible as soon as you enter from the foyer. This is good because someone is there for teen patrons should they need assistance or guidance. The unfortunate drawback of this service point is its proximity to the flexible seating zone and the computer. It also commands a view of almost every area of the teen center. This takes away from the idea of the teen zone as a teen-controlled space. One of the most scarce and precious commodities in a teen's life is privacy. This manned service point unfortunately provides librarians an excellent view of many of these computer screens. Would teen you be comfortable researching sensitive teen issues such as sexual health questions with this guy looking over your shoulder? Teen me wouldn't. Luckily, the Teen Center provides a self-checkout kiosk so their teen patrons can at least salvage some privacy when checking out materials. The lounge area. How comfortable can teens be in the lounge area with librarians within earshot? Not very, if these pictures are any indication. Teens seem comfortable using every other area of the center, but any teens in the lounge area tend to be as far from the service desk as possible. Which brings us to the question of seating. Comfortable and flexible seating options are among the top things teens want from a library space. Seating options in this teen center include hard bleacher seats with thin cushions, chairs at tables, and high-backed lounge chairs. The only truly flexible seating options are the L benches because they're rollable, and these colorful round things, half of which are in constant proximity to the help center, and the other half of which are exclusively in the vitrine. And while we're on the topic of seating, let's talk about the floor for a moment. Teens like to sit on the floor. I can relate. I'm an adult. I like to relax, play, and work on the floor. But except for the carpeted vitrine, all floor spaces are singularly uninviting hardwood. And these blob chairs, other than use as stools, I can't think of a single other comfortable position for them that doesn't involve the floor. The vitrine is one of the cooler and more expensive concepts in the center. A space for teens to be loud, participate, and play video games is a huge step in the right direction. But again, no privacy. The website for the architects who designed this space even boast of the lack of privacy. I was a shy teenager. Performing karaoke or singing with the garage band video game is something I might have done in front of friends, but I'd have been hesitant to belt it out in full view of an entire library floor, whether they could hear me or not. Other great things about this center include the cafe area. The cafe area is a step in the right direction. Allowing teens the space to eat shows the library's support for proper nutrition and demonstrates that the library trusts its teen patrons and that it values them over its materials and collections. The technology is another high point of this center. 10 computers, drop-down projector, self-help kiosk, video, audio, and gaming equipment, and speakers that project sound with the same accuracy as light. No expense seems to have been spared when it comes to flashy tech. Another high point is the ability of the lounge area to transform into a performance space viewable from the bleachers. Inclusion of performance spaces in teen library areas is another step in the right direction. The major drawbacks of the space we've mentioned so far are lack of privacy and limited flexible seating options. One other drawback that goes hand in hand with the privacy issue is the lack of any quiet areas. While teens do desire areas for socialization from their libraries, this teen center overcompensates. Teens still have homework to do. Some private study rooms would help to round it out. While the Hamilton Grange Library is an example of striding toward improved teen spaces in our public libraries, it is also an indicator of further unmet needs of our teen patrons.